and how do you manipulate the mind to exactly get what you want? That I want to turn it off.
Yeah. So that's where I would like to suggest to consider the model. I do not have that bottle right now here, but I would have shown that a bottle with water and has some, let's say, leaves and stones and some mud. If I start shaking, the water becomes murky, isn't it?
Mm.
As I start shaking. So now, if I want the water to become clear, what I need to do?
You leave it, it settles down, right?
So I need to just leave it and don't be involved with it. Correct? So I just need to leave it. The nature of that substance is to settle.
Mm.
Nature of the mind is to be at zero. Thoughts come when I get involved, then the amplitude of the waves increase, the frequency of the waves increase. Not that, see, right now, let's say, for example, you look at somebody, a thought may appear, what a crooked fellow, says something but does something else. Or, suddenly you are going on the road and you see somebody, maybe, let's say, peeing on the road. What nasty fellows. Thoughts come. So, like that, in any situation of life, wherever you are, whatever you are doing, the thought process, it emerges. What is the basis of that? The basis of that is what has gone into the
Yeah.
mind already. Okay.
Yeah.
So it emerges. Now, only when I get involved with it, meaning what? I consciously then decide, I start having conversation in the mind. This fellow, what he did that day? He said these things, but later I saw him doing this. I need to tell others, that don't trust this fellow. So like that, the conversation starts in the mind.
Mm.
And who is powering that conversation? I am powering that conversation because the mind by itself is jada. Unless I power the conversation, so the mind doesn't have the ability to continue that conversation. That is the conscious choice that I can exercise, whether to get involved with this thought or not. Thoughts will come. So as I then watch, and that is why the whole idea is watching. Even during Nididhyasa, what are we watching? There is a thought about something related to life, but we are replacing that with a Vedantic thought, a higher level thought, but that is also a thought. So, using the power of the thought, now instead of thinking about life situation and nastiness or goodness or whatever it is, we're replacing it with a thought related to truth, a higher level thought.
That is good. That is okay to have.
That is okay to,
Very good.
because then at least what happens is, see, for example, when I feel that somebody is attacking me, I may feel shrinking, I may feel like defending, I may feel like irritated, I may feel like wanting to fight. But when I feel that I'm all pervasive and I am complete, then that naturally makes me feel relaxed, isn't it? Makes me feel relaxed means what? My mind now is no more battling. My mind no more is trying to defend. Mind no more has the boundary to protect. The boundary to protect is where the battle is really happening.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
And when that boundary is no more to be protected, then where is the battle?
Yeah. I think that to cultivate or to go to that level is what is needed. Yeah.
Ah,
Yeah.
so how?
Currently, the ego is still up and
Correct,
it tries to play defense. Yeah. Yeah.
correct,
Or offense where needed. Yeah.
correct.
I can see it later on.
Yeah,
Now at least I can see it, what is going on.
Yeah.
I'm just trying to see like how to tame the ego or lessen the attachment to that concept. What and what I noticed is it's not just my transformation, it's in the interact in the world. It's not like I'm by myself, and like we get I get to interact with the rest of the people, and like when they start questioning or like start putting making statements, then like now I have to, it's not about like if I'm by myself, I can at least try to be at one state. When these things come, now like I should be able to get them, and then like uh, find a way to respond as well without changing my state. That I see it a lot more challenging.
Yeah. So there the simplest trick is react versus respond. When somebody puts a question to me, the conditioning enables me to react. Okay. However, to respond, I have to be aware of how my mind has started reacting. As soon as I say see a face, my mind may throw anger feeling in me. Am I watching the anger raising from the subconscious part of my mind? I am not judging my own mind. Yo, why do I feel I'm so miserable? I still have a long way to go in evolution. All these are the secondary conversations. Doesn't matter. Right now, that is what is happening. Okay, it is happening. There is no two ways about it. Right now, how much light I have outside, that much light only. How much ever I battle, I cannot just go and change the scene. So my mind is now throwing this feeling of anger, fair. Then feeling of jealousy, fair. Then feeling of irritation, fair. All this is within my mind. How it came is a separate question.
Yeah.
Why it is now coming up is a separate question. But right now it is bubbling up. That is a um, change that I can notice.
Yes.
Now the power is in the response is okay, do I want to continue powering that thought? Thought is like this. Okay, so there is one hand coming from the mind, the other hand comes from me. Now only sound emerges. Otherwise, it'll die down. That is the nature of the thought. It cannot keep doing this. So when it emerges,
Mhm.
what response do I want to now offer to this particular question that is coming? I can remain silent. I can look at what is the way to respond so that
Mhm.
it is good for the other person and good for me. I can criticize the other person. So depending upon the particular situation,
Mhm.
always more than one ways in which I can act.
Mhm. Yeah.
Consciously choose, then I know what is the result it will yield. Then it becomes a response. Otherwise, it is a reaction.
Yeah.
So, shall we begin our today's session? May I request Kamatji to lead us in the prayer?
Oh. Oh.
अंतर्ज्योति बहिर्ज्योति प्रत्यग्ज्योति परात्परः ज्योतिरेहि ज्योति स्वयं ज्योतिः आत्मज्योतिः शिवोऽस्म्यहम्. I am the supreme light of awareness, illuminating the outer world of objects, inner world of thoughts, and deep sleep state. I am divine light of nature of auspiciousness, Shiva Swarupi. Guru Vandana. Om Gurur Brahma, Gurur Vishnu, Gurur Devo, Maheshwaraha, Gurur Sakshat, Parabrahma, Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. He who guides you on the righteous path is a guru. When a parent or a teacher or a friend or an animal or a bird or a plant conveys message of righteousness, they embody a guru. A guru's knowledge encompasses the creation, maintenance, and transformation at all times. A guru represents the voice of the Creator Himself in showing the righteous path for all beings at all times. Voice of the divine is revealed through the message of the Guru. Guru Vandana. Om Akhandamandalakaram Vyaptam Yena Characharam Tatpadam Darshitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Guru can guide us to the supreme knowledge of that which pervades all the living and non-living beings in the entire universe, namely Brahman. I salute such a Guru. Respect to the Guru Parampara. Narayana Samarambham Shankaracharya Madhyamam Asmadacharya Paryantam Vande Guru Paramparam. Sadashiva Samarambham Shankaracharya Madhyamam Asmadacharya Paryantam Vande Guru Paramparam. Being with Narayanan through Adi Shankaracharya, in between and up to my own perceptor, I bow with reverence to the entire tradition of perceptors, beginning with Sadashiva, through Adi Shankaracharya, in between and up to my own perceptor, I bow with reverence to the entire tradition of perceptors.
Thank you very much, Kamatji. Welcome to all the Divine Atma Jyotis. Hari Om. So let us continue the Nididhyasa. Today, let us take up the Bahir Samadhi Nididhyasa. Last session we had the first one. This is the second one. So we just now had a little bit of an interaction. So Nididhyasa here will be guided by Prabhuji. After the Nididhyasa ends, if there is any question, we can take up them. For now, let us go into the Nididhyasa.
The meditation on Bahya Samadhi. It's called Bahya Samadhi meditation. First, let us chant ನಿರ್ವಾಣ ಶತಕಂ ಒಂದು ಶ್ಲೋಕ. ಮನೋಬುದ್ಧಿ ಅಹಂಕಾರ ಚಿತ್ತಾನಿ ನಾಹಂ ನ ಚ ಶ್ರೋತ್ರ ಜಿಹ್ವೆ ನ ಚ ಘ್ರಾಣ ನೇತ್ರೆ ನ ಚ ವ್ಯೋಮ ಭೂಮಿರ್ನ ತೇಜೋ ನ ವಾಯುಃ ಚಿದಾನಂದ ರೂಪಃ ಶಿವೋಹಂ ಶಿವೋಹಂ. I am not the body, I am not the mind, I am not the ego, I am not the memory. Nacha shrotra jivve, I am not 5 sense organs. Nacha vyoma bhumirna tejo na vayuhu, I am not 5 elements of nature: space, wind, fire, water, and earth. I am pure consciousness, Shiva Swarupi. This is the first shloka of Nirvana Shatakam by Sri Shankaracharya. So now let us start Bahya Nididhyasa. Couple of days I told Antar Nididhyasa. Antar Nididhyasa means inside. Inside of what? Inside the body. Bahya Nididhyasa means outer. See, the God is the always all pervading reality. Brahman is all pervading reality. Inside, outside. Antar Bahishya Vyapya Sarva. So now we have to meditate on the outer reality, what we call as outer reality. How do we do that? I'll guide. So everything in the world, what we call as sun, moon, earth, water, animals and plants, all under the come under the category of the name and form. Sun has a form, moon has a form, earth has a form. So from the form we have to go to formless. How do you go there? By ignoring the form and focusing on existence aspect of the nature. Sun exists, moon exists, earth exists. That existence is Brahman Sat. So we have to contemplate on that. ಈ ದಿನ ನಾವು ಬಾಹ್ಯ ನಿಧಿಧ್ಯಾಸ ಮಾಡೋಣ. ಬಾಹ್ಯ ನಿಧಿಧ್ಯಾಸ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಸರ್ವವ್ಯಾಪಿಯಾಗಿ ಇರುವ ಆ ಭಗವತ್ ತತ್ವದ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಚಿಂತನೆ, ಬ್ರಹ್ಮ ತತ್ವದ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಚಿಂತನೆ. ಸರ್ವವ್ಯಾಪಿ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಏನು? ನಾವು ಏನ್ ಕಾಣ್ತಾ ಇದೆ, ಸೂರ್ಯ, ಚಂದ್ರ, ನಕ್ಷತ್ರ, ಭೂಮಿ ಎಲ್ಲವೂ ಅಸ್ತಿತ್ವದ ಸ್ವರೂಪ. ಸೂರ್ಯ ಇದ್ದಾನೆ, ಚಂದ್ರ ಇದ್ದಾನೆ, ನಕ್ಷತ್ರ ಇದ್ದಾನೆ, ಆ ಇರುವಿಕೆ ಇದೆಯಲ್ಲ ಅದು ಅಸ್ತಿತ್ವ. ಆ ಅಸ್ತಿತ್ವಕ್ಕೆ ಸತ್ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳುದು. ಆ ಸತ್ ಸ್ವರೂಪಿಯಾದ ಭಗವಂತನ ಚಿಂತನೆ ಮಾಡೋಣ. ನಾನು ಕೂಡ ಇದ್ದೇನೆ, ನನ್ನ ಸತ್, ನನ್ನ ಇರುವಿಕೆ ಆ ಸತ್ನಲ್ಲಿ ಒಂದು. ಸೊ ಆ ಇಡೀ ವಿಶ್ವದಲ್ಲಿ ಅನಂತನಾಗಿರುವ ಸತ್ ಸ್ವರೂಪಿಯಾದ ಬ್ರಹ್ಮನಲ್ಲಿ ನಾನು ಒಂದಾಗಿದ್ದೇನೆ. ಇದು ಚಿಂತನೆ. ಇದಕ್ಕೆ 3 ಹಂತಗಳಲ್ಲಿ ಧ್ಯಾನ. ರೂಪಾನುವಿತ್ ಬಾಹ್ಯ ಸಮಾಧಿ, ಬಾಹ್ಯ ಸವಿಕಲ್ಪ ಸಮಾಧಿ. ಶಬ್ದಾನುವಿತ್ ಬಾಹ್ಯ ಸವಿಕಲ್ಪ ಸಮಾಧಿ, ಬಾಹ್ಯ ನಿರ್ವಿಕಲ್ಪ ಸಮಾಧಿ. ಇದು 3 ಹಂತಗಳು. ಇದನ್ನ ಈ ಅಭ್ಯಾಸ ಮಾಡ್ಬೇಕಾದ್ರೆ ನಮ್ಮ ಗಮನ ಭ್ರೂಮಧ್ಯೆ ಇರಬೇಕು, ಇಲ್ಲಿ ತಲೆ ಭಾಗದ ಹಣೆ ಭಾಗದಲ್ಲಿ ಇರಬೇಕು ಅಥವಾ ಸಹಸ್ರಾರದಲ್ಲಿ ಇರಬೇಕು ಗಮನ. ಪ್ರಪಂಚದಲ್ಲಿ ಏನೇನಿದೆ ಎಲ್ಲವೂ ಅಸ್ತಿತ್ವ ಸ್ವರೂಪ. ನಾನು ಆ ಅಸ್ತಿತ್ವದಲ್ಲಿ ಒಂದಾಗಿದ್ದೇನೆ ಅನ್ನೋ ಭಾವನೆಯಲ್ಲಿ ಇರಬೇಕು. ನಮ್ಮ ಗಮನ ಹಣೆಯ ಮಧ್ಯಭಾಗ ಅಥವಾ ತಲೆಯ ನಿತ್ಯ ಭಾಗ. ಇಡೀ ವಿಶ್ವದ ಅಸ್ತಿತ್ವದಲ್ಲಿ ನಾನು ಒಂದಾಗಿದ್ದೇನೆ. ಅಸ್ತಿತ್ವ ಸತ್ಯ. ಸೂರ್ಯ ಇದ್ದಾನೆ, ಚಂದ್ರ ಇದ್ದಾನೆ, ನಕ್ಷತ್ರ ಇದ್ದಾನೆ, ಭೂಮಿ ಇದೆ, ನೀರಿದೆ, ನಾನು ಇದ್ದೇನೆ. ಆ ಇರುವಿಕೆಯಲ್ಲಿ ನಾನು ಒಂದು. ಏಕತ್ವ ಇದೆ. ಆ ಇರುವಿಕೆ ಏಕತ್ವ, ಅಸ್ತಿತ್ವ, ಅದು ಸತ್ ಸ್ವರೂಪ. ಆ ಭಾವನೆಯಲ್ಲಿ ಚಿಂತನೆ ಮಾಡೋಣ. ಕಣ್ಣು ಮುಚ್ಕೊಳ್ಳಿ. Close your eyes. Gently breathe in, breathe out. ನಿಧಾನವಾಗಿ ಉಸಿರು ತಗೊಳ್ಳಿ, ಉಸಿರು ಬಿಡಿ. Mind calms down. ಮನಸ್ಸು ಶಾಂತ ಆಗ್ತದೆ. Deep breathe in, slow breathe in. ಆಳವಾಗಿ ಉಸಿರು, ನಿಧಾನವಾಗಿ ಉಸಿರು. Deep breath, slow breath. Alavadu Nidanavadu. Mind is very peaceful. Anashashanta way. Deeper, deeper peace, deeper silence, Shanti, Prema. Gently shift your attention, the spinal cord. Breathe in from the base of the spinal cord all the way to Atma, to the Bhrumadhya. Gently breathe in, breathe out. Visualize breathing in and breathing out from the spinal cord. When you breathe in, the energy moves upwards towards Atma, to the forehead center. When you breathe out, it moves downwards. Visualize this and do breathing. ಈಗ ಉಸಿರನ್ನ ಬೆನ್ನು ಮೂಳೆಗಳಿಗೆ ಹೋಗ್ತಾ ಇದೆ ಅಂತ ಭಾವಿಸಿ ಬೆನ್ನು ಮೂಳೆಯ ಕೆಳಭಾಗದಿಂದ ತಲೆಯ ಭಾಗದವರೆಗೆ ಉಸಿರು ಚಲಿಸ್ತಾ ಇದೆ ಅಂತ ಕಲ್ಪನೆ ಮಾಡಿ. ಉಸಿರು ಬಿಡುವಾಗ ತಲೆಯ ಭಾಗದಿಂದ ಬೆನ್ನು ಮೂಳೆಯ ಕಡೆ ಹೋಗ್ತಾ ಇದೆ ಅಂತ ಕಲ್ಪನೆ ಮಾಡಿ. ನಿಧಾನವಾಗಿ ಉಸಿರು, ಆಳ ಉಸಿರು, ಡೀಪ್ ಬ್ರೆತ್, ಸ್ಲೋ ಬ್ರೆತ್. Deep breathe in, slow breathe in, into the spinal cord. Gently become aware of your left leg. Become aware of your right leg. Become aware of your body. Take your attention to the Guru Madhya or the point where you put kumkum. Hold your attention there. You can even hold your attention at Sahasrara, the top of the head. ಈಗ ನಿಮ್ಮ ಗಮನ ದೇಹದ ಕಡೆ ಬರಲಿ, ಎಡಗಾಲಿನ ಕಡೆಗೆ, ಬಲಗಾಲಿನ ಕಡೆಗೆ, ಶರೀರದ ಕಡೆ ಗಮನ ಬರಲಿ. ನಿಮ್ಮ ಗಮನವನ್ನ ಎರಡು ಕಣ್ಣುಗಳ ಕುಂಕುಮ ಇರುವ ಜಾಗ ಭ್ರೂ ಮಧ್ಯ ನೇತ್ರದೊಳಗೆ ತಗೊಂಡು ಗಮನಿಸಿ, ಅಥವಾ ನಿತ್ಯ ಭಾಗದ ಸಹಸ್ರಾರ ಕಣ್ಣು ಗಮನ ಕೊಡಬಹುದು. Now become aware of the world all around. ಪ್ರಪಂಚದ ಕಡೆಗೆ ಗಮನ ಬರಲಿ. The world is vast and infinite. ಪ್ರಪಂಚ ಅನಂತ. Everything in the world which exists, the sun, moon, the tree, the river, plants, all are forms of appearance. ನದಿ, ಗುಡ್ಡ, ಬೆಟ್ಟ, ಮರ, ಮನುಷ್ಯರು, ಪ್ರಾಣಿಗಳು ಎಲ್ಲವೂ ಇರುವಿಕೆ ಅಸ್ತಿತ್ವದ ಒಂದು ರೂಪ. The tree exists, the sun exists, the moon exists, the earth exists, I exist. What is common to all of this is existence, ಅಸ್ತಿತ್ವ, ಸತ್. ಮರ ಇದೆ, ಗಿಡ ಇದೆ, ಸೂರ್ಯ ಇದ್ದಾನೆ, ಚಂದ್ರ ಇದ್ದಾನೆ, ನಾನು ಇದ್ದೇನೆ. ಇವೆಲ್ಲದಕ್ಕೆ ಸಾಮಾನ್ಯವಾಗಿರುವುದು ಅಸ್ತಿತ್ವ. I am of the nature of existence. ನಾನು ಇದ್ದೇನೆ. Existence is ಸತ್. ಅಸ್ತಿತ್ವ ಸತ್. I am one with the existence. I am one with the totality. ಇಡೀ ವಿಶ್ವದೊಳಗೆ ನಾನು ಒಂದಾಗಿದ್ದೇನೆ. ಎಲ್ಲವೂ ಅಸ್ತಿತ್ವ ಸ್ವರೂಪ. All that is there is of the nature of existence. With that understanding, merge with the totality of the universe. ಈ ರೀತಿ ಗಮನಿಸ್ತಾ ಇಡೀ ವಿಶ್ವದೊಳಗೆ ನಾನು ಒಂದು ಅಂತ ಚಿಂತನೆ ಮಾಡಿ. And I am one with the totality. I am one with the universe. With this understanding, stay silently. ಇಡೀ ವಿಶ್ವದೊಳಗೆ ನಾನು ಒಂದಾಗಿದ್ದೇನೆ ಅನ್ನೋ ಭಾವನೆಯಿಂದ ಶಾಂತವಾಗಿ ಕೂತ್ಕೊಳ್ಳಿ. The universe is infinite. So I am of the nature of infinity. Let us visualize we are one with the world. I alone appear as a world. Real I. Have hold the thought of oneness with the totality of existence. Any thought comes, again come back and hold the thought of existence. Existence is infinite, Ananda Swarupa. I am that infinite bliss. I am one with the existence. I am one with the infinity. ನಾ ಅಸ್ತಿತ್ವದೊಳಗೆ ಒಂದಾಗಿದ್ದೇನೆ, ಅನಂತತೆಯೊಳಗೆ ಒಂದಾಗಿದ್ದೇನೆ. ಈ ಭಾವನೆಯಿಂದ ಕೂತ್ಕೊಳ್ಳಿ. I am one with the totality. I am infinite. I am one with the existence, consciousness, bliss. ಸಚ್ಚಿದಾನಂದಕ್ಕೆ ನಾನು ಒಂದಾಗಿದ್ದೇನೆ ಈ ಭಾವನೆ ಕೊಡಿ. Gently become aware of the breath. Become aware of body. I'll chant first. You can repeat after me. Asatoma Sadgamaya Tamasoma Jyotirgamaya Mrityoma Amritam Gamaya. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Purnamadaha Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Lokaha samastah Sukhino bhavantu. Lokaha samastah Sukhino bhavantu. Lokaha samastah Sukhino bhavantu. Hari Om. Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Hari Om. ನಾನೆಂಬುದು ನಾನಲ್ಲ ಇದೇಹ ಮನಬುದ್ಧಿ ನಾನಲ್ಲ ಸಚಿದಾನಂದಾತ್ಮ ಶಿವನಾನು ನಾನೇ ಶಿವೋಹಂ ಶಿವೋಹಂ ಶಿವೋಹಂ. I am not the body, I am not the mind, I am not the intellect, I am pure consciousness. Shiva Swarupi. Gently rub both of your hands in your look in Chandana Guji, Kani Shakpuri. Slowly open your eyes.
How was it?
Very nice.
Okay.
Today I could sit through full, so I'm very happy. Yeah.
The body did not disturb, the mind did not disturb.
No, today there was actually a lot of pain today. But I remember once I told you about coughing, and then you said you just observe that.
Yeah.
So there was a lot of pain actually in my left neck and somewhere below in my head as well. But I observed and I continued. So when the meditation got over, there is no pain actually. So that's very beautiful. But through the meditation, it was painful. At one point, I thought I should stop, but then somewhere I thought, no, let me just observe. So that was good.
Excellent. Very nice. Very nice. Any other insight that you gained from today's Vidhyasa?
No, I think when he guided us to do the breathing of to feel the spine and then the Agya Chakra, right? So I think for the first time, I was very relaxed at that time. Usually I'm not, the Agya Chakra is something which is very, like last time what Saravananji shared, it was never a pleasant experience for me to focus on the Agya Chakra. So that was also very nice to. I didn't find it disturbing.
Very nice. Thank you, Padmaji. What about Kamaji?
Yeah, it was good, but then yeah, most of the time my mind was preoccupied with the work that I've got. So, so I just observed, and then I started getting ideas. Okay, after I go back, I should do this, I should do that. I mean, not reacting to it or not chewing upon it, but yeah, I'm always wedded to my work. So this is meditation for me.
Very nice. Some newer ideas started emerging.
Yeah, something which suddenly you get yeah, I don't want to make the whole problem overwhelmed. So what I do is sometimes I take that and go back to sleep or just forget it. But suddenly a flash of a moment, oh, I should try this. So immediately I can't go and work. So what I do is I just make a mental note of it. But these days it's becoming difficult to keeping all these things, and they are very subtle things. So I note it down, I write it. Okay, once I go there, I should do this and this. So long back, my guide used to tell me that why are you taxing your brain by remembering all this? I mean, he used to kind of give me these piece of advices. Whenever you do some work, be it the research or anything, better to write down so that your mind has got that much of space, to do something else, rather than keep remembering the same thing over and over again. But there are certain things which you remember and you don't forget, but at the back of the mind there's a processing going on, and you look at something else and that triggers, oh, okay, I should do that. So this is what somebody told me, that my way of thinking is through visualize, I mean, my way of remembering things is through visualization. I never forget somebody's face, I never forget somebody's what to call a typical character of that, but I might forget the name, and somewhere it is there, and suddenly it flashes, oh, this person's name was this. So what they say, it's there in the stomach, but it's not coming out. So, so some of these things, sometimes I see that happening in meditation. Though that's what I say. I never force. This is not called forced labor. The way it is projected, the way it is said in meditation, because many a times what we see or what we hear, we tend to put a literal meaning to it, but it never ever happens. And then many times I do get a bashing. Or you took it very seriously. Yeah. This is not what I meant, which is right. But we get lost. At least I get lost in that communication. So many a time. So in meditation, this is what I do. Even though I pretend to sit, but obviously the mind is not doing that. The mind is still doing something which actually both ways, okay, beneficial as well as in a bad sense. But then the whole objective is to be mindful, or just take whatever is coming and discriminate. Oh, this is not what I want. So try to again evade to some other place. But when I am involved in work, then only those things keep cropping up, and I feel that is good. So that's why this is one of my, now I'm very fortunate. Suddenly I got a project, and this is keeping me gainfully occupied. So every time something is happening, oh, okay, I should do this, I should do that. Or if I have to present this data in this story in some way, how to make it more impressive, trying to get it more information, so that yeah, basically in one word, it's a passion about the work. So some of these meditations would help me.
Excellent.
I know I may be away from what has been discussed here, uh, but somehow I think that is making me more fulfilling and a positive in this period.
Now that's also another very insightful observation. See, the idea that we say that, okay, so one has to be empty. What does emptiness really mean? In emptiness, no creation is possible. When something is empty, nothing else can happen. Realize that that is your inherent nature. But right now, what is that the so-called gainful involvement? What is this gainful involvement? I don't need anything. I don't need to gain anything or lose anything. There's nothing to be gained or lost for me inherently. But still, the game of life is interesting. Why ignore the taste of vada? If your vada is nice, enjoy. But don't get connected with vada as the thing. That's all it is. So therefore, to make the most wonderful vada, you need creativity. And the seat of creativity is silence. Because when I keep twisting the pipe, flow is not complete. I need to relax, let it be. Then naturally there'll be a surge. So yes, definitely. The more I just start watching, and like Kamaji put it, discriminating. Okay, this is so-called value added, or in a positive, in the direction that I want to move, that I feel like moving. So let me choose this thought over the other. So it starts naturally moving. Thank you, Kamaji.
Yeah, just before I close this remark, yeah, this is also actually, if I had to put it in that way, it's a sensory satisfaction. Even thinking is in that process. That is what I see. But even though now I'm involved, after sometimes what happens is even one loses the taste in that, because now you have appreciated it. Now you start looking for something else. So these meditations, I feel, is going to take me in that right direction. But a stage might come where, okay, no, this is also not worthy of any doing something. Let us go a little bit, calm the mind. And hopefully, I'm moving in that direction rather than going back and trying to choose something which is not required. And the same thing is with sensory organs, right? I mean, when we are young, our taste buds are very, very fertile. So you tend to really appreciate and keep doing it. But over a period of time, we lose that human faculty. And hopefully, and that's what I'm thinking. So, anyways, so just to put in a nutshell, yeah, this is what I'm just trying to keep myself in that positive way. Hopefully, someday I may be able to calm the mind further, rather than reacted to many things, be it positive or negative.
Yeah, yeah. And it has to, like the flower, again, keep the analogy of the flower, it has to bloom by itself, and absolutely no force can ever make it bloom. How about Shubhaji?
For me, there was no disturbance. It was absolute peace for me. Last session, it was very disturbing, but this session, it was absolutely very good. I didn't have any disturbance. Only when Prabhuji started saying, be conscious of your body, that's when I started feeling some pain in my back. Till that time, nothing. It was very good, I would say. And no disturbance outside the noise also. So it was blissful.
Okay. Are you saying that there was no noise from outside, or?
Probably I didn't, I wasn't disturbed.
Okay, okay.
Of course, I changed the room also. There is no disturbance in this.
Yeah.
So I felt absolutely, unlike other sessions, this session was much, much better for me, if I could put it that way.
Excellent. Very nice. Again, the idea is not to shut down the world's noise.
Yeah, yeah.
World will continue.
Yeah, I could hear the birds sound, all those things I could hear, but the mental disturbance which you get out of thoughts which you don't need, that was not there.
Very
So, things which were pleasant was there. Things which was worrying me was not there. So that is something which is very rare.
Rather, Shubhaji, everything became pleasant, right?
Very nice, Shubhaji. Anything else you would like to share, Shubhaji?
That's it, sir.
Thank you.
Sir, I think I have noticed one thing, that before the meditation, the state of mind that you are in also makes a certain amount of difference, I think, to the level in which you are able to meditate. Like, for example, I have noticed that if you are having any physical pain to begin with when you start the meditation, it might go, but then it makes it a little bit difficult for you to in the process itself, it makes a little bit difficult. Like today, I didn't have any pain to begin with, but the pain came later, like when Shubhaji said, when Prabhuji said, become aware of your body. That's when I started feeling the pain. So I was already into meditation, so I could continue, I feel. But if you are having a pain, say in the beginning itself, then maybe, to go to that state itself might be a little bit difficult, I feel.
Yeah, I agree on the point that if you start your day very happy, that same continues with the meditation too. Yes. And yeah, if you start with the pain, yes, it continues.
So one thing I would like to suggest there is, see, the body will have various pain or pleasure related changes. Mind also will have various such, depending upon what is the thought process that is happening. The inherent capacity of you is to step away from whatever it is. So meditation is not continuation of what is the change that is happening. Is to realize that you are not the change that is happening. You're right in saying that if there is pain, because you are now stepping away, the pain is where the focus goes, so it may feel amplified. So do not be confused with the amplification with that is the goal of the meditation. Goal of the meditation is to step back from either pain or pleasure, from good or bad, and to remain watchful of whatever that is coming. Doesn't matter what is coming. I am not that is the clarity that meditation provides. There was one wonderful small thing that had come, no? Dayananda Saraswati's. And in the last session, I had shared that. Let me put that picture back. See, the Vedantic logic and the worldly logic are diagonally opposite. Worldly logic is, I experience sorrow. I am happy. I am sad. I am painful. I am gaining. I am losing. Therefore, I am sorrowful. So that is how the worldly logic begins. Oh, I lost, I gained, because I'm experiencing all this. But the beauty is just a little deeper insight from Vedanta is, I experience sorrow, which means that the subject and the object distinction, I experience. So which means that whatever the sorrow is not who I am. And therefore I am not sorrowful. Body will continue to have pain. No way to get rid of that. Depending upon where I'm driving the car, no, it might have punctures. I cannot get away with getting punctures in the tire. I can be watchful of can I drive it in a safer path. Still, can I avoid any unknown, somebody coming and poking? No, I cannot. But I can always be now aware that car I can always fix. Saravananji, what is your experience? You are on mute.
While there's nothing coming out, so I'm just trying to make up now.
No need. If you want to say something,
yeah, I think there's a lot of clarity and almost slow to zero activity kind of thing. As just floating.
Nice.
Yeah.
Notice how the face changes depending upon how it is. See, when you're thinking, wondering, look at how all the things, and when it relaxes, see, yeah. So they say, face is the index of the mind.
Actually, it was connected to my yesterday's contemplation. I was thinking, how can I get out of limited form? Because if I'm being in this body, I feel I am always limited. And today, here we go, like close my eyes and like I start hearing about going from form to formless, and then like I was just going with that flow. It's yeah, as long as I'm in the body, I'm conscious of the body, I'm going to be limited. And the easiest way is like, yeah, you close and you go inside, then like that connection to the body is gone, then like you are formless, and now I am unlimited, then it's not holding me. And then like all the forms are just going up, and like there is like unlimitedness above.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah.
And that expresses as love
Mm.
and kindness towards others in the waking state.
Yeah.
Love is nothing but, okay, I deeply, you're formless, that you are unlimited. That's why you have compassion for others. That's why you have love towards others. Though the mind may give certain good, bad, okay, love this form, don't love that form. But once when you start raising above that, there is no more good and bad. So this closing the eyes and feeling that formlessness and unlimitedness is what is love and compassion in the waking state. Because it is you, the existence that you see in the other. We are trained to see the Rupa. We are trained to hear the Shabda. But beyond the Rupa and Shabda, beyond the name and the form, is pure existence. And existence always is giving me a mirror, but the mirror is coming in the form of name and the form. And each mirror helps me see and stabilize in different ways. Some name and form throws a question at me. Some name and form throws an insult at me. Some name and form teaches me through a certain logic. But ultimately, every name and form is inherently existence.
Sir, I want to put a point here, sir.
Yeah.
Like in my personal experience, like what you said just now, that whoever comes into our life bring various lessons or teachings for us. I have also seen that once you learn that lesson, somehow without you realizing, there is a shift. either that person is not there anymore in your life because of whatever reason, or they also appear very changed to you. Like, this is what I have experienced. Like if I have to give an example, like some of my very close relations, I used to always have not a very pleasant relationships with them, and that was kind of a lot of turmoil for me. On a daily basis it would be there, although I was not in contact with them. That is was the most surprising part when I would try to analyze it logically or practically. Like, how can somebody like affect you this much when they are not in, like, you're not somebody, they are not somebody who lives with you, you're not having a day-to-day interaction with them, yet like whatever they do, it will affect you so much even though they are so far away from you. And I would contemplate like what is this thing, what is happening with them and me, or or is it only me, all these kind of things. And then eventually I one day I just thought that maybe it's a projection of my own self to some extent, and rather than trying to figure out as what is the relationship between me and them, maybe I should, whatever I see in them, maybe I should try to find if it's there in me, and somewhere address that. And then when I started doing that, that person stopped disturbing me anymore. And then I felt that eventually, like, it's like non-existent for me now. They're non-existent in my life now, but it has changed me. I feel that it has changed me. So before where I used to wonder that why this person is doing this, or why they are in my life in this way, now I really am grateful to them, that because of them somewhere I have maybe advanced or evolved myself, in some way I have improved myself, is what I feel now. So when I meditate, I think these were the, when you would say that there are some people whom you are not in very good relation, see them also happy. So that time I would bring these people. But now when you say that, I don't have that kind of feeling. I feel that even they should be very happy, because in some way they brought some change in me, is how I see it now. So I think it is again it's a process. I feel, sir, it cannot happen by somebody telling you, or forcibly. You cannot do that, even with relations. Yeah.
Very nice. See, it is like the seen world is like a coin. Where there is head, there is tail. And existence is showing us, hey, look, you've been choosing only heads, but you have to learn to accept the tail. So the day I start accepting head and tail as part of the same, that day that coin stops bothering me. Wonderfully put, Padmaji. All right. Are there any other questions or any other points to review? Okay. Then shall we end our today's session? Saravanan, you wanted to say something?
No.
Kamakji, can we have you?
Yes. Right seeking. Om Asato Ma Sadgamaya Tamaso Ma Jyotirgamaya Mrityorma Amrutam Gamaya. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Om, lead me from untruth, ignorance to truth, darkness to light, impermanence, death to permanence, immortality. Self is all. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnar Purnamaduchyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Om, that is complete. This is complete. When completeness is removed from completeness, what remains is complete. When completeness is added to completeness, totality remains complete. Om Shan, Om peace, peace, peace. Nanu, Nanembadu, Nanalla, E Deha, Mana, Buddhi, Nanalla, Satchidanandatma, Shiva, Nanu, Nane, Shivom, Shivohom, Shivohom. I am not the body, mind, intellect. I am pure consciousness, Shiva Swarupi. I am the true self is liberation. Atma Darshanam, Brahma Darshanam, Brahma Darshanam, Satya Darshanam. Recognition of self is recognition of the whole. Recognition of the whole is the truth. May all be free from suffering. Om Trayambakam Yajamahe Sugandhim Pushtivardhanam Urvarukamiva Bandhana Mrityormukshi Yamamruta.
Can we repeat it 2 more times?
Om Trayambakam Yajamahe Sugandhim Pushtivardhanam Urvarukamiva Bandhanat Mrityormukshi Yamamrutat. Om Trayambakam Yajamahe Sugandhim Pushtivardhanam Urvarukamiva Bandhanat Mrityormukshi Yamamrutat. We worship the three-eyed one who is pregnant and who nourishes all. Like the fruit falls from the bondage of the stem, may we be liberated from death and mortality. Lokaha samastaha sukino bhavantu. Lokaha samastaha sukino bhavantu. Lokaha samastaha sukino bhavantu. May all beings be happy, healthy, and peaceful. Hari Om.
Thank you, Kamaji. Thank you all.
Thank you all.
See you next Sunday. Hari Om.
Hari Om.
Sir, thank you. Hari Om.